Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and today we're gonna have a look at a few things that were added to Battlefield 6 with the last update and that you might have not noticed yet or that you simply didn't try out yet. And we're gonna start with a new setting that allows you to show an indicator that represents the current amount of dispersion, also called bloom or spread, that your weapon has when aiming down sights and firing in full auto. You can find this option under settings, then HUD, and then scroll all the way down to crosshair, and by default this setting is only enabled in the firing range, but you can also set it to fully turned off or even fully enable it, so it's also shown during matches. In addition to this, you can also adjust its opacity and color, but you can unfortunately not adjust the size. What this indicator does is that it pops up when you start firing, also when aiming down sights, and then increases its size during sustained fire, which indicates how big or small the current dispersion of your weapon is. And with this also how inaccurate it gets. When you stop firing, the indicator gets smaller and disappears. And this is a great way to learn and also visualize how weapon dispersion works for the different guns in Battlefield 6 and what kind of effect sustained fire and tap firing has, but also what kind of effect your stance and movement has when shooting. I only wish there was an option to adjust its size as well, because it's really hard to see, especially depending on the optic you use. Another new setting that we got are simplified controls for jets, which could come in handy for all players who never used a jet or aircraft before in Battlefield 6, but still want to try out the new mode Fighter Sweep or one of the new jets. The new setting can be found under Gameplay and then all the way down at Vehicles, and here it's called Airplane Control Assist. And what it essentially does is that it simplifies the controls for roll, pitch, and yaw that you usually manually adjust to only looking into the direction you want to fly. So on PC, for example, when using this setting, you can simply control the jet with the mouse by looking around, and the jet will then automatically align relative to where you look at. For the current Top Gun event, I think this is a great addition, especially for new players and inexperienced pilots. But if you really want to learn how to fly a jet and want to get more into this, I think that this setting might not make it easier for you in the long run. So if you really want to get into flying, I think you're better off not using it. Next up, we have the custom lobbies, a new feature that might cause some confusion. Custom lobbies is a dedicated server type in Portal that is designed to give hosts of experiences more control before and during a match. And they also make it possible to organize tournaments or community events. And compared to the normal Portal servers that we had the whole time, the new custom lobbies give you access to a pre-match screen where players can organize themselves into teams and squads before the server begins to load the actual match. But server hosts can also sort those players or assign admins to help organize everything. And they also have access to additional features during a match, such as advanced match settings or a spectator mode. To create a custom lobby, you need to go to Portal because you have to set it up like a normal Portal experience. But right now you can only use verified conquest experiences for this. These are the only ones that are supported. And it can be a bit tough to find one unless you build one yourself. So what you could do, and what I did as well, is to go to search experience, then select conquest as a mode and filter by most popular. And most of those should be verified experiences as well. And when hosting one of them, you can select enable lobby. And this will enable this custom lobby, so this pre-match screen, and it will also give you some more settings that you can turn on or off depending on the experience that you want to create. And then you can just wait for players to join, or you can send out a join code that players can then use on the start screen to directly join your experience. Or you can also find custom lobbies in the server browser by using the new custom lobby filter. So surely an interesting tool, especially for community events and tournaments, but for normal experiences, no one's really using this at the moment. So it's really hard to actually show you how this works during a match. But essentially, custom lobbies is really just this pre-match screen and some more settings for the hosts and admins. And connected to these custom lobbies is also the new Spectator mode, a feature that has been in almost all former Battlefield games and that has been very useful and was also highly requested by the community for Battlefield 6. And now it was finally added, but at the moment, unfortunately, only in a very stripped down version. Because right now the Spectator mode is only available in combination with custom lobbies, so only in verified conquest experiences or Battle Royale quads. So when a custom lobby is hosted, Spectator mode needs to be enabled by the host, and then spectators can follow players, move between available viewpoints, and observe the match from a different perspective. However, the host or the admins of the lobby need to assign those spectators before the match starts in this pre-match screen that we talked about before. So you cannot simply join as a spectator like you were able to do in former Battlefield games and then switch around and spectate any game you want to. And because no one is really using these features at the moment, I'm also not able to show you any gameplay of it yet. But the devs are writing that they want to expand the feature to more modes in the future. So let's see if we will find our way back to the good old Spectator mode at some point. Now, moving on, there are some other additions and changes that we got with update 1.4.2 that I also quickly want to go over. First of all, the EOD-Bot's repair tool now benefits from the engineer's overheat control field upgrade, which means that its heat builds up 50% slower. They finally fixed the bug where you couldn't ping from a vehicle and instead you always pinged right in front of you, so now you are actually able to ping where you are aiming at. And the VSSM had its limb damage multiplier adjusted, and this means that on a range of 5 meters you now deal 30 damage to the limbs, which was 32 before, and on 10 meters you now deal 23 damage to the limbs, which was 25 before. Unfortunately, I didn't test it for longer ranges, but these changes should be similar. There were no changes made to the body and headshot multipliers though, only the limb multiplier was slightly reduced. And lastly, there is one interesting spot on the new map Wake Island that I wanted to show you, and some codes that will give you free rewards. But first we're gonna take a look at Wake Island, because here you can now also find the classic memorial again that has been present on any version of this map so far in any Battlefield game that had this map. And now it's also on the Battlefield 6 version. The memorial says, "To those who fought here in 1942, BF2, 2142, 1943, BF3, BF5 and BF6, we are grateful." And if you want to find the memorial yourself, just head to the edge of the map right here between C and D, and there it is. And as promised, here are also some codes for additional free rewards. Thanks to Battlefield Bulletin and Chariot Gaming for sharing them. What you need to do is head over to the Battlefield code redemption page, link to it is in the description below, and then use these 6 codes to receive 4 new player card titles and 2 XP boosters. If you've been watching my former videos, then you might already have the first one, Welcome S4. So if you run into an error here, just keep going with the other ones. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.